Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. So today I will be doing some cutting of my sedum Burro'S tail. I'll put up the scientific name on the screen. You can see last year during the time of renovation they had put in a lot of paint on my Burro'S tail, but it's still has been doing quite well. I didn't take off the paint because it makes no sense. If I'm going to try to take it out, it will break the leaves, so I might as well leave it as it is. But it has grown very well from what it was last time. What I'll do is I'll try to put the clip on the screen of last year so that you can get a fair idea of how much they have grown over a year. Probably they might have just grown a couple of centimeters in a year, because Burro'S tail and donkey tails are very slow growing succulents in the genus of sedum. They are very slow, so if you have them, don't be in a hurry. They will take their own sweet time. All you have to do is just have patience. They kind of look like grapes over here. You can see this is another set, which is first they started putting out the new growth, and now it is starting to grow more, so it's becoming a little bit heavy. And this was all what they had damaged while painting. I had asked them clearly that if you are going to paint the wall the day before that, please let me know. I will move the pot, but they didn't. They just lifted the pot like this and they just painted it behind, and they put the pot back. Even the pot had broken, so they had handled it really bad. And even my donkey tail as well was completely damaged. This is probably where they held it, and this is the new growth that is coming up, which looks really nice. And this is the older growth, and I'm going to show you something that I just seen now. You can see all these red spots. These are the stress colors that are setting in. Now this place does not get a lot of direct sunlight. It gets a good amount of indirect bright light. There is a lot of intensity in the indirect bright light, and hence you can see they're doing quite well. The new growth is looking really amazing. So what I'm going to be doing is I will take out some of the leaves from here. I'm going to show it to you in a while. It'll be a little bit difficult with the camera. And here as well I have some more that are also growing really well, but this one I'm not going to be cutting it off. I'm just going to leave it as it is, because it looks quite compact and I do not want to disturb this one. But these two are donkey tail. I'm just going to leave it as it is because it looks quite good. I don't want to put donkey tail along with the Burro'S tail this time. So I'm just going to keep only the Burro'S tail in one pot. Again, remember guys, after I'm done with this cutting, the update video is going to take a very long time. I'm not very sure how long. This is not going to happen within a couple of months. It's going to take a very long time. Ideally for a Burro'S tail or a donkey tail to grow large, it takes around 3 to 4 years, so it's a very slow process. So what I'm going to do is, here you can see most of them have lost the leaves, so I'm just going to take out some more leaves and cut a good piece of stem, and I'm going to show you the pot as well in which I'm going to plant it. But overall it looks quite good. Here also I have a very good amount of growth. This is more compact, and I think there are some more succulents in this. There is Graptosedum bronze and there is Graptopetalum mugdoglii. I think probably there were some cuttings that were fallen in this. I've left them as it is. And the upper portion growth is, this is all the new growth that is coming up, which is really nice. And this is the pot that I will be using. I've already put the pot up. I've used some wires, double wire, to hold the pot. It is not going to move. It's not very heavy, so I am okay with it. Now the reason why I have already put the pot up is because after we plant the succulent, it will be very difficult to push the pot through the wires, so I thought I will do that first. The soil mix is the same what I have used, which is a mix of 80% aquarium sand and 20% of filtered garden soil. I use the same soil mix for all of my succulents. This soil mix is completely bone dry, because what I'll be doing is I will be taking the cuttings and putting it directly into the soil by putting in a little bit of cinnamon powder. I will show it to you in a while. So this is how the pot arrangement is. It's quite at a height, which is going to work out really well. So I have already set the pot. Now it's time to put in the cuttings. So I will first try to take out some leaves where I want to do the cutting. because I want to have a good amount of stem so that the stem can be deep into the soil. These leaves will get propagated, so I'm just taking them out carefully so that I can propagate them. It's going to take a while, so I'll just do a fast forward. So I think this piece of stem is going to be good enough. I'm just going to cut it over here. So we have a very long stem which will go inside the soil and keep the plant anchored. I'm not going to take out the paint. I'm just going to leave the paint as well as it is. And this one is also very compact. So I'm going to start taking out the leaves from here. So I think this is good enough. We will do the cutting over here. Probably I'll take out some more leaves. And I think I'll take out the stem over here so that we have a very long stem that can reach into the soil. So let's cut it off. So now that we have our cuttings over here, as I said, I will be putting them directly into the soil. So just to be on the safer side, I will be adding in some cinnamon powder. So this is how the cuts tend to look like. Now ideally, because the stem is very thin, doesn't require a lot of time to callus. Anyways, the soil that I will be putting it in is completely bone dry, which is very loose, porous, well draining. So I'm adding some cinnamon powder on the cut. This will help dry the wounds faster, and if there is any kind of infection, bacterial infection, the cinnamon powder is going to take care of it because it has antifungal properties. So we are done. Now it's time to put them into the soil. I'm going to show you how they tend to look like. You can see how beautiful they are. They are also flowering. These are the old flowers which I have not even taken them out. Probably I'll do that later on. And this is all the paint that they had spilled on it, which is okay. And this is the other one. This one also has a good blooms on it, which are just starting to come up. And these are the old flowers. So I will be tucking them into the soil like this, upright, and over the period of time they will start to trail downwards, which I said is going to take a very long time for them to trail. So we will keep a track on it. Probably in another let's say 3 years or maybe 4 years, that's when they will start growing longer and longer. It's going to take a very long time. So I will just go back again to the pot and show you how I will be putting them into the pot. So the first one, I will try to put it on this side. I want to give enough space for both of them to grow, so we will just push the stem in very carefully. We do not want to break the stem, and that's about it. So that's how it's going to look like. See that? Right, so we are done with one. The second one, I thought I will put something in the center, but I don't want to do that. I might probably put a smaller one over here, but I will try to keep both the larger ones at the sides. So I'm going to put the other one because it will be very easy for them to trail this side. And let's just push that stem very slow. Little difficult to do it with one hand. Okay. Just need to be a little slow, and there we go. Okay, so this one is going to look like this. That's perfect. I'll show you from here. So that's how it's going to look like. It will eventually start to trail. As I said, it's going to take a very long time, but we'll just leave them like this. As of now, the stem is completely into the soil. I just hope that the stem does not break, but I don't think. Probably in a couple of weeks it will start to root. Of course, I'm not going to take the plant out to show you the roots, because I'm sure by now you might have seen ample amount of videos wherein how the roots tend to look like, because I do not want to disturb this plant. So it is going to stay like this. Of course, you won't be able to see a lot of updates because it's a very slow growing plant. But probably after a couple of days I will, or probably after a month or so, I will give you an update on how it's doing. But so far it's going to look like this. Definitely not putting any more plants over here. Maybe I might put another Burro'S tail over here, or a donkey's tail. I'm not very sure at this point of time, but right now I'm just going to leave it spacious because I do not want to clutter the place up. Remember, I'm from a tropical environment. Too much of clutter, too much of compact succulents can lead to less of air circulation, less of airflow, and then it can result in mold, fungus, pest issues. So I just want to keep it as airy as possible. There's a lot of air circulation over here because this is the north side where there's a lot of indirect bright light. At the same time, there's a lot of air circulation, so I think this is going to work out really well. Only time will let us know. As I said, it's going to take a very long time. So this is how the pot looks like. This is the reason why I decided to first put the pot on this and then plant the succulent. Otherwise it would have been very difficult to put it back into it. So I thought this is going to work out really well. Looks a little bit empty, but that's absolutely fine. The Burro'S tail looks, the donkey tail looks really amazing. The donkey tail also is getting a little bit of spots on it. Probably these are the stress colors. Please don't mistake this with some kind of fungal attack or anything like that. And also what I've noticed is, if I'm going to take a closer look, I don't know if it's very visible or it's picking up on the camera, you can see the tips are turning a little bit pink in color, which is amazing because I never tend to pay very close attention to them. It's always been that I just look at them from far, that's all about it. But today I'm taking a closer look and I do see a little bit of pinks on the edges of the leaves, and it looks absolutely amazing. So I will let the donkey tail stay in this spot and we will see what happens next. There are a lot of new pups coming up. Wherever they had broken the leaves, there are a lot of new pups coming up, which is amazing. And this one will also start to grow. Probably it will have some more pups growing. We will keep a watch on it. Of course, I'm going to keep an update video. I was thinking of even cutting this one and putting it, maybe I should do that. Probably I'll do it some other time. Right now I'll just let those others relax. But I think I'm going to trim this one as well because it is also growing really amazing. A lot of gap over here, so I can probably cut it somewhere over here, the same way how I cut the other two. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep propagating.